Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of No More Kids in Scientology. Trav, can't wait to hear the good news. Yes, there's very good news. There's very good news, you guys. Thank you for joining us to share on these good news. I wanted to start actually by reading out for you guys a little tribute that I wrote in acknowledging so many of you who have become such avid child advocates along on this journey with us. Hello, Lara. Hello, Witchy Woman. Look at all these members, you guys. We got members, but we don't have a hotel. So just FYI. Mamaj, yes, Michael's case was dropped. So that was definitely announced, but we have more good news about that. But as I said, I wanted to start by just reading you guys a little note I put together. To every child advocate who has come forward to support us, there are no words profound enough to capture the gratitude we feel for each one of you. Your bravery, compassion, and unyielding dedication to protecting the rights of children have become a light in what was once only overwhelming darkness. Together, we have formed a movement built on the conviction that no child should ever endure the pain of being silenced, neglected, or harmed. Your voices, your actions, and your relentless advocacy has inspired us in many ways that you cannot imagine. Whether you've shared your personal stories, or you have helped amplify our message, or you have simply stood with us in solidarity, each gesture has left an indelible mark in our hearts. And you have shown that standing up for children is not just a responsibility, but a moral duty that transcends any one individual or cause. To those of you who have endured your own hardships yet continue to fight for the protection and safety of others, you are the embodiment of resilience, and you must never forget that. You've taken your own pain and you transformed it into power, not just for yourselves, but for the countless children who have now a shred of hope because of you all. We also honor the advocates who are no longer with us, but whose legacy continues to inspire us every day. They are the reason we persist, the reason that we will not stop until every child is free from the grip of abuse, coercion, and exploitation. Please know that your contributions have moved mountains, and you are the reason that we believe a future without fear for children is possible. Your courage has fortified us, and your passion has fueled a movement that cannot be silenced. Together, we will protect the innocent and amplify the unheard and change the world. From the depths of our hearts, thank you for standing with us, and we are honored to fight alongside remarkable, selfless individuals. With endless gratitude, Serge and Michael. And I wanted to really kind of break these news, starting with that gratitude, you guys. We started this YouTube journey not too long ago out of complete sheer desperation, that after going to all law enforcement levels available, after working with all manner of top tier corporate media brands, we're talking the most top tier corporate media brands there are, after being swindled, gaslit by people that purported to really want to help us. We're talking very specific attorneys that know exactly who in the literal hell they are. After coming forward with our story and seeing that nothing we did behind the scenes worked, this was left as the last shred of possibility to denounce, to contextualize, to taking it upon ourselves, literally, to have to bypass. In Scientology, that's what they taught you as a child. When things are not getting done, you have to go and do it yourself. You have to bypass the people that don't want to do their job. So imagine that that is the front row seat that America is demanding of us, the kids that were abused inside these Scientology hotels and commercial buildings that are not, as everyone in this live knows, a religious experience for any of us children that were trafficked across borders, across state lines, to be role-playing as the slaves that we were being used in the capacity of inside those hotels, as we were bondaged, as we were sadistically tortured. That delusion had to be popped by us having no more intermediaries that cannot advocate for us because they didn't have a shred of skin in the game, turns out. All the people that have come, oh, we're really going to help you. Oh, we're really going to stop this. Oh, we're really interested in your story. They never had interest in the story, given the fact that they had no skin in the game. Skin in the game means that you've been to the hotel. Skin in the game means that you literally have had eyeballs inside of there. So if some mofo out there tries to, spin something, you'll be able to go, that's bullshit. You're full of shit. I saw it with my own eyeballs. I read the L. Ron Hubbard policy. I know what in the F I'm citing. So that brings us to this moment of becoming a tiny but mighty, devoted army of child advocates that have heard our plight, that have heard our testimony, that have sat here crying alongside of us as we try to contextualize this level of dysfunction that is too painful to have to revisit on a daily basis, too painful to have to do 1,000+ videos that all get suppressed by Google because they don't give an F about kids. And yet you guys find yourselves in these rooms, holding space, standing up, coming to us to the Blue Building, video recorded everything they did to Michael when he was falsely arrested. You guys saved his literal life. I don't know if you guys are aware of, but the fact that there were streamers there that caught multiple angles so that another Scientology lawfare scheme, as they put literal hits on us. Oh, that one's the real effective one. Put a hit. Go get the LAPD people that are going to come here. If you get them on felonies, you know what? It's going to be real great for you. We'll make it worth your while. We'll give you a fruit basket. Yeah, lock him up for the rest of his life. That would be making us really happy. And that's what they almost got away with. Just put that into context. That's the allegation that officer sergeant of the LAPD weighed against Michael as he falsely accused him of getting and punching him in the face. And you better believe the Scientology people were so happy. Oh, he got arrested. Oh, we got Michael. Oh, this is going to be great for us. It's going to be really great for us. David Miscavige is going to celebrate. They're going to be so happy. And yet, we prevailed against that because what? Because there were other child advocates walking behind Michael, literally video recording everything that is going on, so that these gaslighters that literally depend on lying literally have no other way of defending themselves but to lie, to cheat, to manipulate, to bend the law that is bending on its knee like pathetic imbeciles that they are. Imagine you get paid to enforce the law and you're on the wrong side of the law. Imagine you swore all manner of things that apparently are just more platitudes. Because if you pay extra time, it's better than all the taxpayer money combined that the city of Los Angeles does pay the LAPD to protect it. But never mind. If you have a big hotel, you can private hire them. Oh yeah, we really need to protect ourselves because we're being protested. And what in the hell is being protested, Scientology? That kids cannot consent. And what in the hell do you do with your money? You hire cops to abuse the people that are telling you, yo, there's kids in there. Let's not forget that's the last words coming out of Michael's mouth before he was mulled over by that disgusting, unhinged sergeant that, what in the hell is wrong with you, sir? You should go to the Scientology hotel. You should literally do the drills that we were put to do as kids. So when someone just tells you, oh, there's kids in there, you don't have a button on it and you don't react violent. Because the kids that were inside of that hotel, Officer Lobo had to put up with being told, oh, you know what I did to you last lifetime? I raped you. Thank you. How did you do that? We couldn't react. We couldn't defend ourselves. We couldn't put the adult in their goddamn place. And imagine you get told, yo, there's kids in there. And your response is, get the F out of my space. Ah! You touched my husband first, and then you turned around and falsely accused him of punching you. Imagine being that delusional and pathetic. Imagine. So it is thanks to who? People that are bearing witness, people that are having skin in the game. Who was there that night? Jessica, Streets, Solomon, DOA, Laura, Danny, literally like more than I can count right now. And they all know exactly who they are because you know what? On June 1st, those streams are there for everyone to see. So if you don't know what in the hell I'm talking about, just go back to June 1st and watch how many people documented that exact situation. Because thanks to that, Scientology's literal attempts to weaponize the law against the child advocates, against the ones that are not even tapping the LAPD in the shoulder, God forbid you get mulled over. Because that's the type of law enforcement people that were being provided. So if LAPD, we couldn't be more wrong, we couldn't be more misguided, start showing us examples of you giving a fuck. Because so far, all we have is the people that Scientology pays to go and, really patrol them. And y'all can refer back to June 1st so you can, see exactly what those videos show you all. Because again, lucky for us, we have it on video. That's what saved Michael's future. Had that officer been able to press a felony against a delusion he had for himself, what is this Officer Lobo type 3? Type 3, Officer Lobo, is when you're completely crazy psychotic. That's what they told us at the hotel. When you're so crazy psychotic that you just come up with bullshit, complete and utter fabricated bullshit in the present time, such as no one touched you, and you make the complete false allegation that someone punched you in the face. That one. That's a type 3. PTS type 3. When you're just delusional, just complete delulu, complete, nothing to do with reality, nothing to do with what happens. And this is what you are. PTS type, literally. Type 3. Type 3. They assigned you a label in there. Oh, this person's, coming up with a lot of crazy shit that makes no sense. Oh yeah, he's the delusional type 3. So how many of the child advocates that are right now facing completely baseless TROs that we've already proven in court were baseless? And it's been the might of this community coming forward for every single one individual one of them that had to hire the best possible representation they could possibly muster, as they are allowed to do so by the law. So they don't end up accepting the bullshit, crooked plea deals that the Scientology attorneys are desperate to settle. Because you know what none of the advocates have had prior to this movement? A community of people that would rally together, that would show that it's not just all on you, that people will show up, that people will be there for you, that people will afford you that level of grace that we're not accustomed to. So many of us that grew up in those disgusting hotels. It's embarrassing. We find it so hard to ask for help. We have to all figure it out ourselves. That's how we were groomed to do that as kids. Oh no, it's your fault. Figure it out. Don't come with a problem. Figure it all out by yourself and come with a solution. It's what these disgusting, degenerate executives tell the kids inside the hotel. Oh, somebody just went out to eat. Don't bother me with the details. Go and fix it. Obstruct justice by yourself. Figure it out yourself and just come with a whole typed handling. So thanks to the absolute support and backup of this community, people are affording themselves lawyers that are required to push back on the level of illegalities that are literally being funded by what we have at the other side of the goddamn hotel. People that write billions and millions and trillions of checks, like billionaire Grant Cardone, like billionaire Bob Duggan, Trish Duggan. Oh, you need money? You need to pay more attorneys? Here you go. Oh, the IRS is going to tax write this off? Great. Wonderful. Oh, when can I get my next trophy? When can I go get my next medal of Medallion Tratatalium Patatorius Tratatorias? That's what they have. Inside of those hotels, they have people paying money. So that Scientology does what? Goes after anybody that what? Denounces their disgusting child trafficking. Because you can go almost child advocate for child advocate for child advocate has gone out there to discuss this information in the public on a stream that, believe it or not, is not economically viable for anyone to do. They might as well be signing the billion-year contracts with bullshit terms that Scientology offers. So for anybody that thinks, oh my God, YouTube is such a great business, it's a bullshit business. It's an insult to plenty of the people that are streaming this shit that don't deserve the nothing that it gives back from all the time they had to put in. This is a true volunteer position. So for all of the ones that are confused, oh, this is an army, this is a gang, this is a mafia, F you, Scientology. You're the ones that are delusional, acting as a full-blown coordinated apparatus that is so criminal up to your neck and ears. It would do you all a lot of good to wake the F up. To heed the warning, get the kids out. Just get them out. Get them out. Just literally open the door and be like, nope, 21 and under, out. Out, out, out. Nope, we can't do it anymore. New era. That's what's needed and wanted. Just so you all don't go, oh, we don't know what to do. Shut the fuck up. L. Ron Hubbard is not okay to do on underage kids, 21 and under. That's what the child advocates are literally almost having to whisper outside your hotels because, you know, you get real press and you literally have them get their eyes scratched out. Everyone knows how Denver J got his eye scratched out by the LAPD because he was disturbing. DOA, how many times? SWAT, very disturbing. How else are these people gonna show that they don't give an F and they don't want to be talked to and they don't want to be reined back and they're acting real entitled? And they project that we're, attacking you? We're telling you the truth. We're telling you the facts. We're telling you what the F you need to wake up about. So you stop doing it. But all we have is this projection that, oh, you know, oh yeah, like the kids, why is everyone making it such an issue, you guys? I mean, there's a lot of people there that need help. It's called altered importance. It's called, a lot of people need a lot of help. A lot of people need a lot of help. You know who needs the help right the fuck now? The kids. The adults will help themselves. Believe you me. Once they start seeing their ship sink, their delusional bridge that crosses nothing other than the bridge to criminal complicity, they travel step by step. Oh, where I can become more complicit. Let me sign more contracts that are against my interest. If any of the Scientology people took the law with any type of seriousness, they would already have attorneys on retainer helping them separate themselves from this disgusting bullshit that they got ensnared themselves in as full-grown adults. But they purport that, oh no, the hotels have a lot of attorneys that defend us, so we can just do this and think it's all great and wonderful. There will never be a criminal repercussion for them, is what they're counting on. Well, I don't know what type of advisor you're going to go and get advices from, because I am no attorney. I didn't finish past 7th fucking grade. But I'll tell you that much, that in my 7th grade opinion, the Scientology attorneys are garbage. Garbage, soiled garbage is who they are. Soiled garbage. They have no idea at best what in the F is being done in those hotels. At best, they have no clue. At best, they've been looped out. At best, they have they told us that we're doing a lot of religious. Your Honor, it's very religious what they told us, our client. Well, word of advice, Scientology attorneys, go look up, don't listen, L. Ron Hubbard policy. Because he did teach us that at that hotel. If you are going to just be told by people that yap their mouth, that just run it and can't hold back on the misinformation that's coming out of their mouth, given that they only think however the convicted felon told them to think. Imagine how stupid can anyone be, how robotic. Your client has no critical thinking skills, Scientology attorneys. By all means, defend that. Because they're grown adults renouncing critical thinking skills as they enter the hotel. How is that supposed to work out great for the kids that are there? For them. The other ones, I'm sure they're very covered in your legal contracts. The kids do not. Kids are not covered in that contract. Kids literally have nothing to do with the goddamn contracts, because even now we understand that all that bullshit you were having us sign was that complete and utter bullshit. No parent can override the consent of a child to get ensnared in things they cannot consent to be exposed to. How stupid can all of you be combined? It hurts. It hurts how stupid you are. It hurts our brain. It hurts our heart. We cannot stand it. Because unlike y'all, we were there at the hotel getting exposed. Unlike y'all that won't get yourselves in a room to be interrogated without having another attorney present to make sure that you don't F up your admissions, something you don't afford to the kids inside the hotel. And it's the attorneys who don't do this. Stop saying it's David Miscavige. He's been groomed by the convicted felon to think that it was all valid and great and wonderful. All the people there have that excuse. Scientology attorneys. The ones that don't have that excuse is you idiots. You don't have the excuse. You don't have the, oh, but L. Ron Hubbard did say this here. They have that excuse. They can bring that to their criminal attorney. They can be like, look, it's set to lock them up against their will. Like, we were following what L. Ron Hubbard said. But the Scientology attorneys do not have the capacity to just go, oh, L. Ron Hubbard, of course, that makes so much sense. Unless there's people willing to stand up next to us and denounce this, we are going to be in the same hamster wheel we've been for the last 74 years. Well, it's time to grab a machete and go like that to the hamster wheel. It's time to take steps in the right direction, adult steps in the right direction. In the direction of what? Exposing what the facts are and having everyone deal with them. Start dealing with the facts. Stop infantilizing yourselves. Whether you are a child in Scientology that is now a full-grown adult, stop being infantile. This moment comes for you to, wake up to the facts. Something we wouldn't wish on our worst enemy, mind you. This isn't like, oh yeah, wake up to the facts that what? Everything about that experience compromised your entire childhood on a daily basis. To all various of degrees. Some of us have it even worse than your worst nightmare. True. Some of us is beyond comprehension what in the hell happened. Beyond. And it's the fact that we have these experiences still happening, and it's the fact that people are standing next to us. People that have never had anything to do with it, they don't need the grooming. They don't need to be told, oh, this means this and this means that. Who the F cares? Stop grooming the audience to sanitize the narrative. Stop grooming them. Nobody cares what in the hell you were told. Because what's monstrous, what's disgusting, what is outrageous is what was done in the physical universe on this face, just on the merits. You cannot even pass what an audit is on the merits of what it encompasses. Locking someone against their will is full-blown kidnapping. Having their passport on top of that locked up aggravates the felony. Doesn't make it less. It doesn't make it more of a religious experience. How stupid can anyone be? How willfully stupid? Because this is willful stupidity you guys were talking about. This is willful stupidity. It's just like, oh yeah, I mean, if a child's locked up in a room where they cannot leave and then their passport's also locked up because, the parent gave it to them and said, oh yeah, just lock it up, keep it in a valuable place. Keep it in a place where, if they really do need it, they have to write a bunch of papers and get it approved by a bunch of senior terminals. 5 terminals minimum to get your passport back inside of that disgusting hotel. Oh, I, need to go renew my visa. Can I get my passport back? Situation. Lead supervisor, director of training, tech sec, deputy FCCI, Debbie Cook. 5 people that needed to go. Let me see. Okay. This child, yeah, his visa's about to expire. Let's give him he needs to go to Mexico. He needs to go to Mexico and get his visa renewed. Yeah. Okay, well, we don't want to have that here because we really are about applying the law. Oh, yeah, here's your passport. Guess how else you would get your passport? No other way. Situation, I want to leave the CR because I'm so sick of the disgusting abuse I've been receiving. What's wrong with you? You're going to get a SEC check. You're disgusting. You're really degraded. You cannot have your passport back. You already signed a contract here. Look, you signed here, you signed here, you signed here. You're here. You're not going to go anywhere. You can't break the contract. You're dead bondage now. You owe us $100,000. Yeah, you owe us $100,000. Where do you think you're going getting your passport back? Where's our $100,000? We've already invested all this training on you. Training to do what? Grooming. To do what? To sit down in front of disgusting adults. I got to ask each session. So for anyone that's like, oh, very confused, each session, do you have any tight clothes, pants, bra on? Every adult gets a chance to, really do themselves up or undo themselves as they're sitting to go get their audit. From the child, 12 years old is when this was being groomed on me. And the earlier they get you, the more effed up you are, because as you've been doing it since 12, what the fuck were you supposed to think this was wrong? But yet, everyone on YouTube is very confused. What's going on, you guys? What are we? Oh, everyone should be really getting along. Along with what? With what? What are we supposed to get along with? Does it suck to be us? Yeah, it sucks. It sucks that there's kids exposed to this. It sucks that Lisa Marie Presley is no longer here. Because as we just covered, she was told as a child to go tell her mom when someone went out to D with her. And then the mom, orchestrated a pardon. Oh, yeah, look, he says he's sorry, Lisa. We did the handling. Let me type it all up. Oh, yeah, my child got essayed. But you know what? We handled it. Everyone's handled. Why is everyone making a big deal about something we already handled? So what are we supposed to be getting along with? Exactly what? How many more child advocates need to come forward? As many as possible. As many as possible. Because again, the good news is that you guys are showing us that it is viable to stand on this exact issue, that it is something that is needed, that is something that is not just going to change itself. It's not going to just change by itself. It's not going to be like all of a sudden everyone's like, oh yeah, we're getting rid of the status quo. We're getting rid of the benefit of the doubt that doesn't exist for those of us that had a front row seat at that level of disgusting dysfunction. We don't need a court to tell us what we saw with our own 2 motherfucking eyes. Eyes that should have been protected from seeing that disgusting garbage, not put there to make us think that we were the ones that we really supposed to deliver those sessions for those gross, disgusting adults that were all about getting off on that. So the child advocates do need the support of this community and are being shown the support of this community. And that's what matters. That's the hope that needed to be put on the public record to fight off this campaign that OSA can be running a full-blown terror campaign on child advocates and get away with it with a straight face. Those days are over, OSA. You might as well retire your criminal uniform that you've been wearing, because that uniform will be evidence of your criminality. However long you wore that uniform is the criminal exposure that you're going to be facing, that you're not going to be able to defend because it's indefensible to commit felonies. Yes, the law gives you the benefit of the doubt. Oh my God, maybe everyone's innocent. But guess what? L. Ron Hubbard doesn't give you that. That's the problem you have. All the people that work at OSA, L. Ron Hubbard didn't give you the benefit of the doubt. L. Ron Hubbard ordered you to be a degenerate and self-entitle yourself and delude yourself that the humanizing others is your religious right that you really are going to be able to uphold, not in a court of law, good sir. Not in a court of law. There, your delusions, nobody's going to care about it. No, not going to be a defense at all. Oh, but I was very delusional. Oh, but I didn't know the law. They told I thought that Tom Cruise was here, so the law must be followed. That's not a criminal defense that is going to hold up. No, but Elizabeth Moss is running around and Nancy Cartwright is here and what? And P. Diddy? Celebrities aren't immune from committing felonies. Let the public record show you how Prince Andrew, royal of royals, ensnared. It's called you're an adult frequenting locations that lend themselves to depraved behavior that's all being video recorded. Lord, have mercy on your goddamn soul. What you have is no plausible deniability given that all the files are there. What you have is no plausible deniability given the fact that it's all being video recorded. What you have is no plausible deniability given the fact that all your actions that you took that were illegal are dictated by convicted felon L. Ron Hubbard. So all the Scientologists that are like, oh, sir, that's reality. Reality is served. I'm not here to check with you if you agree with reality or not. That's the reality. Starting with the audits. Locking up a child inside a hotel room is a felony, Scientology auditors. It's a felony, Scientology case supervisors. It's a felony, Scientology course supervisors. It's a full-blown felony. How in the hell were you supposed to know that when you were 12 years old being fed a diet of L. Ron Hubbard 24/7, 365? That's called you were groomed. That's called you are a literal puppet. And yes, I would hope that the law would have to literally figure out what in the hell they do with Max Minkoff, Rebecca Minkoff's brother, that was brought in as a child, groomed to do all the disgusting courses. Is a full-grown adult in his midlife and is still doing it. How is he supposed to know any better? Where is his advocates? There is no advocacy. There's been no advocacy for the most vulnerable, most at harm. And I'm sorry, it's not contrary to other people's beliefs, the senior citizens. My grandmother was utilized to groom me. I started doing the courses with my own grandmother. The fact that it was my grandmother delivering the courses made me think this must be really appropriate. Like my grandma would never tell me to do this if it wasn't. That's how our child mind worked. My parent would never put me in harm's way, full knowing. It goes against humanity. It goes against maternal instincts and paternal instincts, you guys. It goes against it. Goes against it to put your offspring in harm's way. The animals don't do it. The mama lions protect their cubs. The big lions protect their own. They don't pawn off the little lions to go and deal with the hyenas. They don't do that. That's what the Scientology people are doing. That's what the Scientology parents are all about. You go deal with the hyenas. Figure it out. Don't come to me with problems. Don't come with... Figure it the fuck out. And until you don't figure it out, don't even talk to me. That's how the Scientology executives talk to us inside of that hotel. That was the culture. That's what's being denounced. That's why they need child advocates. That's why they need people that just are concerned with those that cannot defend themselves whatsoever. Is there senior abuse? There is senior abuse. No one's denying the facts. The facts are what they are. But the seniors have been there since their very early age, some of them decades propping up the hotel that was abusing minors since they were youngings. So yeah, now they're old, but how many decades have they abused the kids themselves? How many of them brought their own kids to be trafficked? How many? How many of them are exempt from that? Why are exemptions being handed willy-nilly? Oh, well, you know, you did leave or you're just still there. And, you know, yeah, it sucks to be them. The problem is up to the Department of Justice to figure out how to deal with them. To figure out what is their individual. Each one has, depending on where they were put in this organization, they have different criminal liability. They would have had access to different kids. They would have had different acts. All manner of differences are going to be made once they actually get to the nitty-gritty of who's doing what where inside of the hotel. Who has access to the files? Who's watching the videos? Who's ordering the kids? Who's recruiting them? Who's bringing them in? Who's grooming them? Who's telling them that they're degraded? Who's dead bondaging them? Who's doing that inside of the hotels? It's not just David Miscavige. As many have spent their entire blabbing about, oh, David Miscavige, you guys, if it wasn't for him. Bullshit. David Miscavige is a red herring. The context exists. Yeah, David Miscavige at the very top of the pyramid scheme, but how many enablers does he get? Who does his bidding? And then who does the bidding of those? And then who does the bidding of those? And then who does the bidding of those? And then who does? It's a hierarchy of slaves. I mean, how stupid can anyone be to literally understand that this is just nothing but a literal pyramid of scheme of slaves? Here you have David, yes, at the very, very top with his little attorneys right here, the enablers. The ones that purport, but he's very religious, Your Honor. You have no idea how religious David is. He really wants to save a world. And then, yeah, he's got here surrogates, enablers, and all the way down to here. All of this is enablers. That's how many of them it took to have us locked up against our will. So don't think that this was just like how human trafficking gets pitched all the time with a total glibness. Oh yeah, in a trucker grabbed a child and they really child trafficked and human trafficked that child. And that's what we really need to be looking after. Look after this. Look after how many so-called corporations, like I think it's believed 30 plus so-called corporations. Oh, it's a corporation, Your Honor, because the Sea Org doesn't really exist. But, you know, look at the corporations here. The corporations, CSI, CMOI, IXU, OSA, FLB. Euphemisms for what? For this pyramid scheme. Who's at the top of this mafia? Who's at the top of this cartel? And who are his surrogates? Going down the line, and who provide the children? Because here's the other ladder, or here's another bridge for all of you Scientologists that love a bridge. Well, you know what? You are the bridge of children trafficked into the hotel. So sucks to be you today. Because you know what? You don't wake up, you don't get your ethics in. Well, you're going to get your ethics in one way or the other, because here's all children suppliers into the hotel. And then all the ones here are handlers of what? Of unfeathered access to all the kids here. Do adults end up in this? Yes, they do. They also end up here with different levels of exposure, with different levels of accountability, with different levels of criminal responsibility, different for every single person here. As much as everybody pretends it's a big bucket and everything's the same, it's not the same. From up here, the people could do a lot more shit. From down here, the people were robots. We were just literal robots for these people. Like Nora and I, we're clear people all day. Okay, be in the meter all day doing the thing. It's like, with me, go get the students completed. Anytime we didn't complete, people whipped. Anytime we didn't, your head's gonna go on a pike. Why did I end up inside of the RPF? Glad y'all asked, because I didn't complete the people from a course. That was blamed on me as an underage child, and that's what got me the literal punishment of having to be with a self-admitted pedophile. So just so that's clear, I didn't complete enough people. Now you need to be in 2 years with a pedophile. Because that was my religious experience that I was supposed to be having for myself. Apparently that's what the Clearwater Police goes with. Imagine that. And here's what I want to show you guys. That is, I know it's been, Michael and I put a GoFundMe page today. And literally, I just clicked on it before I started this live. Let me show you our GoFundMe page right now, which is the actual good news. So stand with Michael, protect child advocates, no more kids in Scientology. You guys, 13 donations, and we're already at $2,738, and we just put this up. We have Vicky, Cheryl, Tamara, Sherry Edwards, 2,500. I mean, Sherry, you have no idea. Like, but every single one, Anonymous, Alice, Karen, Cindy, $20, $25. I mean, you guys, like, to have this confirmation that, you know, this unthinkable stress, this unthinkable hard work of being on the front lines, having to deal with this level of corruption and dysfunction, and to see this, you know, and this is just, you know, we already got not a lot from the beginning because, you know, obviously it's too complicated for the Venmos and the links and all of that. And, you know, we've never done a GoFundMe, so we just put this one up because a friend of us recommended that this was the easiest way to do it. And we're already almost done to be able to have paid the full retainer of an ex-district attorney, a skilled prosecutor, somebody that understands the law. It's like, imagine that, you know, we've never had anyone like that in our corner our entire lives. Never an advocate that gets, you pay them a lot of money. I mean, they're not cheap, but you pay them so they care and they listen to the circumstances, and there's so much to it that that flies over your head. Even now today that we think that we know, and all of this is like, the law is very complicated. So there were already so many things that he was able to help us with, and that's really what made the big difference with us, that somebody actually was paid to care, was paid to advocate on our behalf, and we avoided being touched by these people. The facts were fully on our side. We had so many supporters and advocates that recorded the incident so that no one could gaslight the system. And here we are on the other side of this. Again, so thankful and so grateful that all of you that are paying attention, all of you that have supported this cause, all of you that have shown us that, you stand with this issue of preventing further pain. Everything that was done to us has already been done. It's just done. We're not preventing anything else from that experience with us. We're all in therapy on lifelong recovery journeys is what awaits anybody that's been abused 24/7, 365 through their childhood, as so many of you are survivors of the same shit with a different air freshener. So this is a community of survivors. This is a community that is holding space for very hard, unthinkable discussions that so many of you have reached out and told us, like, it's the fact that you can stand up for this issue in the same level that we are not being vindicated about anything anymore. Like, so much of this stuff is like, oh, you're just attacking to feel better about what? Feel better about what? In what world does anybody think this doesn't make us nauseous, disgusted, something we never chose, something we would never wish on our worst enemy? But that's what the Scientology people that have put all this shame on you from abusing you expect. They expect it to just lay low. It's also embarrassing. It's also disgusting that the plight becomes yours. And then you're now left with that to deal with for the rest of your life. That's what they expect. And we're literally breaking their expectations, tearing them down, because all we can do today is educate our community, have a dedicated base of child advocates that are getting themselves educated. As many of you know, there's a lot of moving aspects and a lot of moving parts about the situation. But also, don't get fooled by that, because again, it's like Scientology is explained in so many complicated terms, and you know what? It is not that complicated. It's disgusting. It's outrageous. Like, the facts without embellishment are nauseating beyond. The level of dysfunction is, there's no rhyme or reason to it. That's what makes this crime so egregious, so disgusting. It makes no sense. From start to bottom, it makes no literal sense. Again, these are robots, full-blown robots of a convicted felon doing his bidding, turning themselves, against their own children. It's like the cycle of abuse and dysfunction is nauseating beyond. L. Ron Hubbard was right that you do need a high confront of evil. And that's the only silver lining after going through all of that disgusting abuse. You're like, you know what? I can confront evil. Given that then I had no choice. Today, I have to make that choice. And believe you me, that's a luxury for the type of life we've had to lead. It's a luxury today that we can go choose to have to confront that evil. At least it's on our terms. We decide when we're going to be able to deal with it, and when we cannot even fucking touch it because it's disgusting and we are disgusted. So, again, I couldn't be any more grateful when you ask for help, the universe comes through, and you guys have come through, and so many people in this community have truly come through. And you know what? That is water in our desert. There's vegetation growing in this desert. And we're gonna literally make a little pond so we have a fucking oasis in the middle of this desert. And soon enough, we're gonna bring an entire hurricane of water, wind, and whatever, and we're gonna completely obliterate that desert and make something completely different, because the old has to go. There's no defense, there's no denying, there's no gaslighting the kids that grew up in Scientology anymore. No one can gaslight us ever again. We know what we know what you did, and you all know what you did. It's time to reconciliate with that. No matter how hard it is, it doesn't matter. Don't think about it, just do it. Drop your ego, drop your ulterior motive, drop your other intention, drop your counter intention, drop all the barriers that are getting in the way of getting to the core facts, advocating for the victims that need advocates as we speak, so that it prevents them from all of this disgusting dysfunction. The more that's done by the Scientology parents, just like they told you in ethics, get your ethics in, and then justice doesn't have to come in. You don't have to end up locked up in a federal prison. You can cut deals with all manner of people that are waiting their phone lines. That's what's not ringing. That's what's not ringing. Let's make sure that's clear for all the people that are very confused. Why doesn't the government do anything? It's only the victims, the child victims of this, that have taken it to call them and tell them what in the hell happened to us. But you know who's not calling? Our parents. With useful information. Criminal investigations cannot just be started because the victims speak. Who's going to corroborate what in the hell we've been saying? There's not enough of those people stepping up, and there are a few that are stepping up, and they know exactly who they are. And you know what? Again, it's desert in the rain. As much as I beat on Debbie Cook every day, all she had to do is, I will go and testify, and I will set the record straight, and you're right, no kid should be about this anymore. Good. Thank God, Debbie Cook. Thank God. Thank God you get it. Thank God you're there literally telling them what in the hell needs to be said. I can't do it all for y'all. We cannot be expected to do it all for y'all. It's got to be on your own determinism that you actually take what in the hell you did seriously, so you can reverse the cycle. That's all that can be done here. That's all that can be done. Nothing else. This moment calls for prevent, reverse. Don't do it. Sound the alarm. Realize it was wrong. Repudiate it. Blame it on L. Ron Hubbard all you want. Do as many podcasts as you want to blame it all on L. Ron Hubbard. I don't give a fuck. But don't come and sanitize. Don't come and whitewash. Don't come and pretend that it was only David Miscavige. Don't come with that type of bullshit, because the kids that were raised in Scientology know when you're lying and know when you're actually coming clean, given that we were having a front row seat at that level of dysfunction. Given that plain fact, we just know. In 2 seconds, we'll know if you're lying or if you're coming clean. 2 seconds. We don't need a meter. We don't need to sit you down. We don't need to interrogate you in a machine. Those days are long over. You take yourself, you clean your conscience, you state the facts. Then we're moving forward. Then we're actually making progress. We've been stuck in a ditch for way too long, 74 years and counting, that not a single policy of L. Ron Hubbard has been reined back. So just like they told us at the hotel, you couldn't be more inefficient or ineffective if nothing has changed. because all of you are operating on the wrong why, because the Scientology parents are nowhere to be found in this picture, taking responsibility for a shred of a thing. And as long as they don't come forward, as long as they don't actually confront what they've done, no change, no change, nothing changes. The status quo keeps alive and well. But you know the status quo doesn't stay alive and well when it's getting called out, because we will tear apart the gaslighting narratives and the bullshit and the sanitization of bullshit. We're sick of it. The kids that got raped in those hotels don't have the bandwidth to extend for another 10 years to really figure out what happens. It needs to stop today, ASAP. And the more child advocates that show up to understand the assignment, the faster this goes. That's why it matters. That's why you're needed. That's why we are grateful for every single one of you showing us that that support is out there. So thank you. Thank you so, 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 so much. Because nothing would change if nothing changes. But things are changing because so many are taking it on yourselves to do so much. And even though you might think that we don't see it, we see it and we appreciate it. And it matters. There is not one single person here that could do anything about what's being done to these kids. Not one. But hundreds of us, thousands of us, hundreds of thousands of us, millions of us. Yeah. With millions, trust me, these motherfuckers would be so scared to touch a kid again in their life that they would be falling in line. They really would. And the bell of the church just rang for perfect synchronistic time, you guys. I purposely didn't read the chat today because I knew I wanted to get through all of it, but I know and can feel all of your support. And I'm going to go back after I finish this live and read it. And thank you again. Honestly, I'm so wonderfully surprised today to have seen all of the people that are showing up. So every day will show up, and every day the load will keep getting less and less, because we are here to wake people up. We are here to provide them with solutions. We have an entire diverse community of people that have so many good solutions to the problem. And that's what we need, you know? Like, there's always 1,001 solutions to any problem that exists. And problem solving is completely contingent to how serious you are and how much you care about the issue. So thank you for all who are writing with wonderful ideas, and continue to grow this movement forward, because I know that sooner than later, we're going to get a day where there's no more kids inside the Scientology hotels and commercial buildings, and we will expand beyond that. So thank you to all of you who are child advocates with us and advocating against the child trafficking of minors. I really, really want to thank you. Hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday night, and thank you again for making this a great night for us already.